Hello and welcome or welcome back. My name is Carrie. I am a medium and a channel, and I'm excited to do your reading for you today. First of all, for those of you that know me, I'm in a different location. This is actually a location where I read for the public. And so I'm in between clients, and I just thought, I've been really wanting to get a message out. And also, while I'm shuffling the cards and connecting in with the guides who want to bring a message through, I thought, I need to talk to my subscribers. So, mentioned to you before how important this channel is to me, how important getting messages to all of you is. And I am coming up with some new ways of doing readings more consistently and on a regular basis. So I'll be excited to share that with you coming up, and hang on till the end and I'll chat more about that with you. So as I'm connecting in, I'm zooming in, opening up my energy, and I'm asking the guides what message they want to bring to you today, specifically for this collective. So I'm starting with my oracle cards, and I'm feeling I'm going to pull 3. So let's see what they have for us today. So it does feel like the first message I'm getting is that it's time for a change. And I've been feeling a lot in my own life with my clients and my students, my collective, that change is happening. We are at the beginning of Aries season. And anytime we're in that energy, right, the beginning, it's as though we'd had a reset and we're moving in a new direction. However, I still feel like Spirit really wants us to know something specifically, and that is that change doesn't always happen overnight. And sometimes we need to stand back and look at the big picture. And that's definitely what I'm feeling here as far as the energy goes. So, right out of the gate, we are getting that energy of Aries, new life. So things that are being rebirthed, things that maybe you didn't know were going to come forth are coming forth. And there's a sense of transcendence and a sense of breaking free. I did a reading a few days ago that really showed that many of you are moving out of being in this complacent role or waiting for something to happen and knowing change is here. And now we're starting to see the guides give us some direction. So the first thing we're getting now is knowing that as we move forward, there's going to be difficulty. It's going to be challenging. I feel that. And this is really proving to you that the things that are most important to you, you need to keep doing as you learn the lessons and understand what is connected to what is valuable for you in that thing you want to really do and how it's going to happen. But there's a level of trust, I believe, with Spirit here, that just because we have the idea, just because we've been imbued with the notion of a direction on our spiritual path or in a path in life, doesn't mean it's going to happen exactly the way you're envisioning it. And what that means truly is that there's going to be change involved with you to get you to where you want to go. So we have to expect that. It's almost like the energy of Saturn. You know, Saturn wants to keep us in time. It's the keeper of time, but also structure, rules, boundaries, and that's important. It's important in the realm of creation. And it is part of our spiritual ascension is that we have to release those things that aren't in alignment for our soul, for our highest good, and how we interpret what's the best for us. Sometimes we don't have a clear vision of that, I'm myself included. So that's why we have conflict and chaos here, which honestly is our resistance to change and to what that would end up being like. And here's the pattern. Again, we're stubborn. This is what I'm getting. We are stubborn. Whoever this is for, this collective. If we keep doing round and round the same pattern over and over and over again. So as we're moving through this is what I'm sensing. The the gateway, the path ahead of us, what our desire should be, what our intention should be, the thing we pray about and ask for is that we are directed for our highest good. We're not focused on a specific outcome. We're focused on going towards what is for our highest good. Ooh. And when I'm in that, I'm just like getting full body chills. Full body chills. I'm going to bring in the astrology deck now. I love this deck. And let's just see what we have. It's here for us. Mars. Did we just say Aries energy? Anybody say Aries energy? And then water. Okay. Two different types of polarizing energies. And then Uranus. Okay, that makes sense. And then finally, what's the last? Sixth house. Very interesting. Okay. So what's coming up for me, and I know this, I'm having this in my own reality, the energy of Mars, that is the energy, a little hard to see here. The energy of Mars is the energy of Aries. But if we think about what Mars does, it's a catalyst. It moves things forward. It's passionate. It's driven. It's masculine. It's forward thinking. But also it breaks structure. It breaks things that are stable, things that are gentle and sometimes more ambiguous. So it's coming in really strong. So that Aries energy, that right off the bat, coming out on the edge, is going to come in fast and ferocious. And we can see this if we're thinking about if we're going in a direction and we have a plan for what that direction is. Again, that Mars energy is going to have an opinion about what direction it's going in. But think about that again in terms of balancing out with the water energy. That's the feminine. That is intuition. That's emotion. That's gentleness. That is connection, fluidity. And if we're tipped over too much in one direction, we really aren't in alignment. We aren't on our path of ascension. In fact, we have conflict. I think about the principles of spiritual energy and energy in our lives and how it works through our psyche, how it works through our emotional body, how it works through our energetic body, our aura, our chakras. And I think about things that my goal usually is to have balance and grounding and to be humbly asking what's the right thing. And it's a process. So thinking about that in your own life, like how can you, hold these two principles of direction, action, Mars, and then the feminine emotion. Now here's everything that's coming in that's upsetting everything and starting a whole new direction is Uranus, which we know is the record breaker. It is especially right now where it is for us as as humans, the alignment of Uranus right now is really getting us to look at things much more deeply, right? And in a strong placement again. And so knowing that right now is a time of old systems just cracking right open. But what do we do with it? Well, we don't lay down and just roll over. I think the idea they're giving us is more that we embrace and say, okay, what are we left with after all this destruction? And we really see that in our world, don't we? We see that in politics. We see that in world leaders. We see that in things in general, that systems are breaking. And so if we come back to our center and we say, okay, well, what are we left with when this is all said and done? We have to find our inner center and that divine heart of a balanced masculine and feminine in the center, working in action of alignment for the feminines. I love this sixth house. I'm going to get my glasses on so I can see more carefully the details. Establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and practical details. That's it. So establishing a foundation for me too is like, that's what this is all about. We are pushing through what was, destroying the old ways, reestablishing a foundation, clearing the way. But in order, again, the balance of the two, where we want to exist in that space is definitely going to be connected to holding both masculine and feminine and giving them each a voice. It's pull some tarot. All right, how does this work for us in our day-to-day life when it comes to career, relationships, finance, life direction? There he is again. He keeps coming up. Here he comes. Are you ready? There he is. You can't get away from him. The Emperor, he's come up for me in every single reading I've done the last couple of days, and he's here. It makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, he's in his Aries season. He's not going to be sitting in the sidelines, waiting for you to give him permission. It's not going to happen. So there he is. But if you notice how comfortable he is in that position of power, right? And he's in the space of dominion, which is that he's angled himself into the right direction. He knows what his position is and what he would like to happen in his kingdom. So this is a little bit of a lesson for all of us to think about clarity, insight, what we want for ourselves, and also feeling comfortable with being in a position of authority. But remember, a good emperor also considers what the needs of his people are. So in this case, it's not just a one-sided conversation. So if you think about relationships you have, or your position in a relationship, or connection in anything you're doing professionally, we want to give ourselves and the authority figures the space to be able to express what it is they need to say and do. And we should also have that in turn, but also understand real power comes from when you have humility and when you're able to hear the other side. 2 more cards come in. This is definitely related to some of you for work. So Page of Pentacles. So some of you might be starting a new business, a new job might be starting, or you're thinking about investing in that. And this is a good time for that. This is a good time to prepare yourself, especially as we move through Aries and then move more towards when we're going to end in Taurus. This could be something that you're cooking up, that you're visualizing, that you're starting to put together, able to figure out what's next and manifest it. This is a good time to sort of get into that seat. Don't feel like you have to act on it right away, though. It feels like give yourself a bit of time to allow it to develop. Because although you have that steam of the Mars energy coming in to clearly, get you into this position of wanting to be moving, action, authority, something going on, you also have a moment of pause because the Pentacles don't move fast. It's Earth energy, and to build something, we want to have some clarity. 6 of Swords, moving out of something that's been difficult, hard, complicated, competitive, and putting yourself first. I get a sense too, if we look at where the 4 of Swords took us to the 5 of Swords, you moved through this 5 of Swords in a pretty rapid time, so you didn't stay in conflict with others for very long. You didn't get caught up in the drama, either in work or situations around you. You gave yourself a little more leeway to observe and not have it stick on you. So you're in a good position right now. You truly are. Let's get a few more cards here. Let's see. 3 of Swords. A lot of swords coming up in this part of the reading, but I feel like this is reflection. We're going to take this as understanding something from the past that drove us to where we are now. We have more insight, wisdom, guidance, and understanding because we've walked through that healing, especially in our heart chakra, to be able to get to where we are. Carrying that wisdom of the wound makes you a key player in anything you're doing because you are, first of all, understanding how people feel because you've lived it, the difficulties they struggle with. That makes you an excellent person who would be like a counselor or, in the healing arts, or someone who is a supporter of those who would need their services. This is making you a very good, again, working professional. And then finally, the Wheel of Fortune is here. So that means things are turning. There's a new beginning to, again, we saw this in the very beginning of this because we're in Aries. So the things that possibly were in conflict are really starting to shift for you. I feel like this for you professionally, especially. So give yourself that time this spring to let things air out and know that things are going to get better. And for many of you, I'm getting a sense of that in the next 2 months, there's going to be changes that are going to start materializing. That this initiation again, we're going back to the very beginning of this reading now, because we were looking, we have to understand if we're starting something new, we also need to look at how structure comes in. And that even though we're starting something, we want to pay attention to how it seems to be showing up the best, what we need to let go of, and what we need to hold on to. We're going to pull a few Lenormand just to finish this and see what we're getting. The first one coming out is the Fox. So being clever in business and looking out for yourself and being in charge. And, the fox doesn't always play his hand. So keep some of the things you're doing to yourself. We've got endings coming in with the coffin. We've got the birds for communication and then the cross and the sight. So this is definitely releasing baggage and pre-prioritizing. This is all career related. Okay. So let me show you. We have the fox. Again, we are being clever, figuring out what we need to do and moving on in a way that gives us benefits, to the work we're doing. So it's okay to look out for your own best interest because you have the heart. So you will always put others, in the forefront of what you're doing, but understanding some of the things you need to let go of are probably more connected to the opinions of others, right? That sort of chatter I'm getting. And also notably, that's why you need to understand this process. You are going to be releasing energy because there's been these blockages, these burdens, heaviness with the cross here. And that's why you're needing to restructure everything and why things are coming forward, which are going to be much closer to what you're wanting. But you have to allow this process of cutting out what doesn't work to happen. That's why things aren't just going to quickly materialize. You've got to go through that process. And then finally, we have the house and the moon. So this makes me feel, again, this could be for you specifically if you've been wanting to work closer to home or from home, either for yourself or for a company that allows you to work from home. And that this will be a very good thing for your career in general. So there's a lot of good things that are coming up for you specifically. And I don't feel like you're going to be waiting much longer. That's really the sense I'm getting for what is coming next. Final card. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. So be sure to follow and like and subscribe. I'd love to see you again. Again, the thing I was going to tell you, and I promised, was that I'm going to start doing channeled readings 4 to 5 days a week. So look out for that. Make sure you're signed up for notifications. Final card, TikTok. So TikTok has more to do with time. This is Saturn's energy coming in again, remembering that we don't want to rush ahead if we are under construction and things need to happen in a certain way. So allow for those things to come forward. What I'm hearing from Spirit for you specifically is that now is a time of you're under construction and that the hard work will pay off, but you have to allow Spirit to work through the internal parts of you and your energy in order for you to have the experiences that you want to manifest. I hope this helps, and we'll see you in the next reading. Take care.